Okay, respected professors, and today I present my research on Malaysian folk narratives, focusing on the iconic San Kancil. My study goes beyond describing this, these styles, values. Yeah, as you can see, it aims to de deconstruct the cultural values, ethical physiologies, and socio-historical consciousness embedded in them. And folk tales are not mere entertainment; they are living archives, reservoirs that encode communities' collective memory, worldview, and strategies for navigating existence. By examining narrative architecture, archetypes, and symbols and themes, I explore the dialecto dialectical relationship between those stories and Malaysian cultural uh, psyche. They reflect the societal norms and shape how future generations understand their place in the world. Yeah. Uh, from this part, I just try to explore the folk tales functions. And as you can understand that folk tales are not mere entertainment, they are living archives, collective memories, and worldviews. As I have mentioned, I explore the dialectical relationship between those stories and Malaysian cultural psyche. They reflect norms and shape how future generations understand their place in the world. And I choose Cancel for three interlinked reasons. First, from a cultural semiotic viewpoint, Cancel holds a paradigmatic centrality in Malay oral literature. It is a foundational cultural cipher, which is the key to understanding indigenous thought, value, hierarchy, and the Malay conception of wisdom. Second, the core narrative, intellect triumphing over brute force. It is a universally resonant theme. This lets me employ the structured cross-cultural comparison, identifying both shared human concerns and striking cultural divergence in how Cunning and victory are normally framed. And third, the tale's literature richness, which is symbolic depth, narrative plasticity, openness to the interpretation, which invites multidisciplinary analysis, religious harmony, sociology, anthropology, and post-colonial critique and narratives. My report progresses logically, which includes, for example, the section 2 lays the foundation with uh, social, historical, and ecological context, plus close readings of key episodes. The section 3 presents a triple critical analysis, moral and cognitive skills gained, cross-cultural comparison with Chinese, European, and India trickster tales, and multi-perspective interpretation. For example, the Islamic, socio-cultural, and theoretical. Section 4 combines the findings and discusses the contemporary relevance. About the elaboration of Malaysian folk tales. Malaysian folk tales are a vibrant part of living oral heritage, rooted in the Southeast Asia rainforest and historical crucible of Malay, a region shaped by maritime trade, cultural confluence, and intimacy with nature. At the heart of this corpus is Sun Kancil, a small, alert, ruminant transformed into trickster zero, possessing wit, strategic acumen, persuasive eloquence, and resilience. It symbolizes the core Malay virtues, means sharp intelligence, the practical wisdom, and resourcefulness. A pragmatic episode features some Kancil crossing crocodile infested river, which unable to fight or flee. The moose deer invents a ruse announcing a royal census to feed the feast. It persuades crocodiles to line up, then steps on them to cross safely. This template repeats vulnerable but clever protagonist defeats stronger foes, tiger, snake, elephant, hunter, etc. through psychological not force. Yeah. The jungle setting is symbolic, reflecting a symbolic human nature relationship. Each animal embodies um, magnified natural traits. For example, tiger, elephant. Per-literate societies used these tiles for entertainment, ecological education, reinforcing communities' cohesion, and modeling non-confrontational conflict resolution, where intellect, innovation, and rhetoric are prize tools. This part is about critical analysis, including the morals and skills gained. Studying the Sun Council transformed it from story to strategic framework. Three moral insights emerge. The first is the primacy of intellect over physical dominance. True power lies in reframing problems and designing nonviolent solutions. The second is courageous advocacy and communal solidarities. It often protects weaker creators, modeling use of talent. The third is contextual adaptability and resilience, pragmatism. Success depends on the rapid diagnosis, a creative reconfiguration, and leveraging opponents' flaws. Of course, on the skill level, this research cultivates advanced critical thinking and logical decision construction, persuasive communication and strategic framing, cultural decoding, semiotic interpretation, and emphatic critical distance. This part is a cross-cultural comparison. I compared the Sun Council with Chinese folks borrowed tiger's terror, relies on borrowed authority descriptive association with a fixed hierarchy, ethically self-serving. Sun Council instead actively builds a new narrative realities, often for communal or defensive ends. The European Reynard, the fox, stepped in moral ambiguity and satire of a corrupt order. Motives are greed or vengeance. Sun Council operates in a clear moral universe, mostly defending the manner of yeah. Uh, Indian, in another case, the Indian Panchantra embeds the wisdom in diagram, the framework linking to cosmic order. Sun Council offers pragmatic, circular wisdom for immediate, tangible survival. Thus, while weak via wit motive is universal, its character, moral valuation, and the social functions vary deeply with cultural histories and anxieties. This part is about multiple perspectives. Islamic hermeneutics. Some Kancil is intelligence mirrors divinely guided wisdom, aligning with Islamic emphasis on reason, peaceful settlement, and wise peacing. And deception is critically examined by conception of necessity and public good. In another case, social, cultural, and historical, Kancil embodies a weapon of weak, a model of pragmatic resistance for groups, avoiding suicide, confrontation with preserving dignity and autonomy. The tiles reinforce the communication ethos. Cleverness gains moral legitimacy through a service to the collective. Based on the theoretical lens, is about identifying a stable 31-function structure and Kancil as a subaltern simple using the local knowledge and rhetoric to resist imposed power structures, achieving the mental decolonization. And educational psychology, powerful tools for social emotional learning, moral reasoning, and cognitive development, which instilling empowerment through the intellect and non-aggressive conflict resolution. And this is also the multiple perspective, as mentioned, as a subaltern simple. Finally, is conclusion and implications. This multi-methodological investigation shows some Kancil tiles are complex cultural texts of significant value. They promote philosophy, elevating cognitive agility, strategic innovation, and linguistic artistry as cardio virtue, offering ethical, practical tools for navigating life and power imbalance. The cross-cultural comparison confirms the universality in certain narrative structures, but more importantly, it reveals the profound cultural particularity in how wisdom is constructed and morally framed. Applying multiple frameworks, for example, the Islamic ethics, social historical, allergy, narratology, and physiology demonstrates the tiles' openness. They eliminate the history, structure, resistance, and development simultaneous. In today's globalized world, engaging with living folk narratives safeguards intangible heritage, fostering cultural literacy and enables respectful cross-cultural dialogue. This project not only deepens understanding of pivotal Malaysian artifact, but also models rigorous interdisciplinary method for analyzing narrative traditions globally. It proves that the ancient stories interrogate with modern tools still yield rich insights for contemporary academia and humanity. Thank you for your attention and welcome for your suggestions.